Mickey trolls people on the forums about Scarlet, which is a 5-star. Mojo Dome is coming to the game next month. And is Omega Red slightly broken? Yes, hello everybody and welcome back to the Marvel Contest of Champions news for Monday. Now with more energy. Exciting. I just want to give a massive thank you to all my current YouTube members, patrons, as well as Twitch subscribers. Do bear in mind, if you do have an Amazon Prime account and want to give a creator a free sub, like myself, please do consider by going over to the link in the description down below. And I may even edit together this video on Twitch as a live stream, so if you want to check it out, it might be there for you. And as well, thank you for you watching this video. You can really help out the channel. It doesn't have to be about money by just hitting the like button, commenting down below. That's helping towards the algorithm and helping towards supporting the channel. Appreciate it. Thank you. And for Asgard, let's get into the news. Our first story kicks off with a reminder that this weekend, January 31st to February 1st, we're going to be doing a special stream across the community, which is going to be helping towards provide equipment as well, the cleanup operation, and just support those units that are fighting those fires in Australia. And obviously we're doing our bit as a community, so if you do want to come across and donate, I'll be talking about this in every single Marvel Contest Champions news leading up. And due to my schedule being a bit hectic at the moment, I'm trying to find out when I'm actually going to be able to live stream. It will be on the 31st. I'm not 100% on the time, but I will be letting everybody know in many videos leading up to that particular day. And now on to next month's event. So yeah, it looks like we've got a mutant-based event coming to February, which is kind of cool because we've got loads of love. It's because it's love month. Because of Valentine's Day and smoochy kissy wissies. Obviously, as you know, Otrux is taking a little bit of a break, and obviously that's due to the fact that he's got GCSEs to study. Now, that is going to mean that a lot of data mine information is and may not be there. We'll have to wait and see what the information will come out, say, by the end of the week, what we've got access to, and as well maybe what the CCP are able to release if we've got any kind of info. And at the moment the answer would be no we don't. Also, it looks like we may have another Deadpool related thing, another Heartbreak, psych, not this time. Deadpool's got a plan to, yeah, I mean, I'm confused by the fact it says Love is a Battle Realm 3, 2, 1. Someone to love him just in time for the season of seduction. That's a bit kind of, that's a bit kinky, Cabal. Bit kinky. Are you trying to seduce me, Cabal? Well, it worked. Because I can't put down your bloody game. I'm quite interested by this line here. It says Deadpool has crafted a love potion and spread it across the contest, making everyone with a beating heart or equivalent fall head over heels for him. Oh boy. Now, whether or not that's going to be a touch on some sort of special node, which would be absolutely amazing to consider that something like, if it has a heart, it reacts in a certain way or something equivalent to. So something that technically would have no heart would be able to, well, you know, take over whatever difficulty that's going to be presented in front of us. There's also going to be a special type of crystal, which I'm really looking forward to. And also, what's interesting is the Mojos taking over. Cabal are putting in special objectives and a 21-day Mojoverse arena full of love-themed things, teams, whatever. That's going to be quite fun, especially to pick up more Shattered Heart shards, which, you know, I'm up for, especially because it's Grandmaster ones. If that is the case, you could have like more of those to get as opposed to the standard ones. That would be good as well, especially for endgame players. This all kicks off next week and I'm really excited to see what it's gonna be like. Next up and over on Reddit, we've got a nice little write-up here from Number that just basically gives an indication of what happened in his or hers Evasive Legends Run, which, as you can see, these are the clear notes. Now a link is in the description down below. I'm really more interested to see a little bit more diversity in team creation, because that's the problem at the moment, because obviously we've had people leading and going through. That means that, right, well, if you don't have the Four Horsemen, as it's been dubbed, which is your Aegons, Awakened, your Doctor Dooms, your Human Torches, your Nick Furies, that, you know, it's just a case of like, well, you can't really get very far. So it would be nice to see like some more other types of teams being used, and I'm looking forward to seeing more being put together. Before I even consider Run, I've got to have three of those champions. I don't have a Human Torch, don't have a Nick Fury, and don't have an Aegon Awakened. In other news, and if you want to find out more about Dan FrontlineMTC, and I strongly suggest you do, because as you know, he's my fellow co-host on the Contest Realm podcast, and as well has FrontlineMTC, which is a fantastic community tool to keep you well informed of stuff going on. as obviously I try to do as well, but I like the fact that Dan puts stuff together in a different type of media format, and as well, like I said, we come together, we synergize and do the Contest Round podcast. But if you want to find out more about Dan, what he's been doing in MCOC, what he plans for the future in MCOC, and other things as well, and also plug in the Contest Round podcast, where we've just released episode 2, which we talk about Evasive Legends with Metal Sonic Dude. The iTunes version will be coming soon. I have been asked about this. I'm still working on it. We had a few issues, but it should be up by sometime this week. Do check it out. Links in the description. We're on Spotify and as well we're on SoundCloud. And we're working hard to improve each and every episode, each and every time we do it. In other news, an Evasive Legends is out. So, why the heck isn't Scarlet Witch available? This is something that started off a little bit of a discussion in the forum last week and spilled over with MCOC getting involved, which we'll talk about in a minute. But Unleashing Chaos goes a little bit kind of in depth of like, the reasons for this, damage output, buffs, debuffs, etc. And kind of goes like, well, wouldn't it be of value to see a Scarlet Witch 5-star in? Because when you compare off against what the damage you see from the likes of, even as he puts, Domino, your Ghost, etc., is it comparable? Now, if we take you back in time, you'll know of this statement here by Cabal Mike saying, having tried out 5-star Scarlet Witch at Signature 200, she is more powerful than any other of those champions and no content stands in her way. There may be a day where we see her 5-star version of the game, but she's not coming anytime soon. As you know, I've done several videos on this and I don't want to sound like a broken record and repeat myself overly, but Cabal MCOC has something to say. And I'm going to read this in a new type of way. I swear, if you guys call this hyping a champion again, I'll make sure that we never release her. Because nothing ever compares to the hype you all make up. And then after being called snarky, he prostrates himself in front of us and begs our forgiveness. Which I think is somewhat accepted. But he's such a bitch, isn't he? What a bitch. If you want to get involved with the conversation on this, as sometimes these things can go a little bit toxic with people kind of like falling out. But it seems somewhat amicable at the moment. So yeah, there hasn't been discussion closed yet, so get your fill whilst you get a chance. And it's still, again, on the fence whether or not that would be an option for that champion to be brought in the future. As I said in previous videos, the idea may be to suppress the potency of those buffs, as you know that when buffs for certain champions, when you go up to different rarities, they get more intense. Based on obviously factors of percentage increases for basic attack and other kind of stats and attributes for the champion, maybe they could suppress the, again, potency of those buffs. But look, I'm not the expert. Kabam could look into getting this sorted and also look at the extent of damage output. And obviously they must have done some stuff with testing to go against those matrices of graphs that we've seen in the rebalances. So again, it's an open-ended conversation and I put it out to you. Again, do you think this day and age in the game and the current meta, blah, 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 is this a good opportunity to see Scarlet Witch as a 5-star into the game? And now on to other news, very important Omega Red news. For a lot of people that use the champion and have him at higher rarity, they probably would have noticed stuff after launching an SP3 that they're not able to, and if you have a lot of death spores on the enemy, do the Essence Steal, which basically allows you to take the power from the opposing champion that you're facing off against. And people have been noting this ever since last week. And I don't know when this is coming. This could be like a bug that's just occurred randomly, but it is annoying for those that use the Mega Red. On the 24th, Kabam Zibit asked for more information and as well said that we're going to take it on to the game team. And seeing a particular video that showcased the Hyperion, which they kind of said, oh, blah, 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 Hyperion's power gain, interaction, blah, blah, blah. But obviously a lot of people in this particular forum post were saying, look, it's more of a problem elsewhere. We're telling you it's definitely elsewhere. And here's a good example. So you can see the spores collecting in the top right hand corner as Omega Red builds up to the SP3. You see that Ronan had an SP3 as well. But as soon as kind of hitting in at SP3, Essence Steal should be in play. Now here we go. There's the SP3 that's just finishing up, whatever he's doing there. And then boom, straight into an SP3. It didn't start doing any of the kind of Essence Steal, so basically the power stealing. And even like now, it's a case like that, well, there's no power for either of them. What's he stealing? Essence still isn't really there. So you would have said the power should have been stolen off rather than eating an SP3. Next up, and in other news, as you know, I have said this before, I knew that Cabal were going to do something similar, where they would put some kind of extra kind of daily deal type thing to put more things like those red envelopes in. Now, that's one thing to kind of point out. During the week, there isn't really much kind of difference, but the Grandmaster deal being on the Sunday, as we can see here, being the more kind of valuable thing to pick up. So yeah, like that's probably the best time to pick up something. Those graded red envelopes have given some amazing stuff. I've pocketed a good amount of units from yesterday's video. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out. But yeah, if you do want to pick up some more of those red pockets and have a bit of luck, then it's up to you when you buy. But I'd probably say check out for the Grandmaster one if you are interested, because that's where the better stuff would largely come in. But you only get one chance, so... Next up, and on to arena predictions. If you followed the predictions of last week, which as you can see are here, they weren't actually too bad. Yeah, I've got to give myself a pat on the back for actually getting some decent actual cutoffs for once. They were pretty good, pretty accurate. But if you want the 5-star version, it looks like of Nova that you're going to be doing about 55 mil, I would say, in round 2. That's my prediction there. This person did 51 mil and got a position 124. This player picked up a 3-star version of Nova for 1.5 mil, and that's what I'm going with for round 2. Also, I would say for the basic 4-star, which this player did 2.3 mil for, I think that is and has been a bit overkill. I did 1.9 for my prediction, but it looked like you could get him at 1.5 and 1.6, so let's say 1.7 mil to be safe. And finally, the 4-star version, man, this went a lot lower, and I think you're probably going to see scores of around about 9.8 mil or maybe lower when the cutoffs are finally given out later on. And by the way, go back to Marvel Contest of Champions True Cost. His site link is in the description, because he will be posting the information a bit later on of what the final cutoffs are. So yeah, this one went for 10 mil. 10 mil for this particular 4-star, which is a lot lower than I think a lot of us had expected for this champion in particular. And I think that's just based on the hype factor. And there we have it. That has been Marvel Contest of Champions news for Monday. If you enjoyed the news today, please hit the like button, subscribe for more, support the channel, as I said, by going to whatever this thing is here. And as well, check out some other content which is located above here, which will probably be the videos from yesterday, including the podcast. So yeah, see you in another video. I've got a variant 4 opening later on today, so hopefully you can be around for that. Bye for now.